What's that? Buy now, yeah, but it went upward. Okay, now that feels good. Hi guys, here's me, Anna, at my desk, at my place, gonna be testing, gonna be having today the nice and simple working strategy, get it a little bit more complicated and try to figure out, is it gonna be better or worse with that type, of fixing. And here we are. Gonna be studying, gonna be making our profits as much as we can today. Just we gotta take from that all that we are having, all that we can. Moving average right there. You know the indicator. All of you know that. EMA is the classy setup right here, and MACD. Oh yes, that's moving average and MACD. I think, at least I try to use that indicator and that combination plus an ATR a little bit in more complex situation. But of course that depends on market. Could I find it really? Could I catch that? And that's going to be on the 10 seconds, not on the 30 seconds as it, just in many manuals. Currency pairs with the biggest payouts at the same time, and we're gonna be just trying to get a max from it. Okay, I must say with the ATR it's not that simple and not that combined indicator, at least in that situation you may see that it's a little bit vice versa than the moving average and the MACD lines. So maybe that thing could make our trading a little bit more interesting. Not here. Here is the classy one. All of the lines. Oh no, ATR. Look at that. ATR reacting on the candles, I must say. But the tendency is kind of obvious that it's going to be the upward trend. But I think this is the end of it. I think that's too much. But by now all the candles from the MACD green, but it started to give us a little bit orange, and the lines are quite far, so we do not expect it's going to be the crossing. But after the time we actually made this bad, we already could actually see that candles turn to be orange, trying to get it smaller and get below zero. That's the good sign. The line's trying to cross. That's the good sign. And ATR, I must say, from the beginning, from the first side, you may see that ATR gave us that. So it's going to be downward. But we got to be double check the impression, because sometimes that quick, these quick thoughts are going to be too soon to be judged by it. What about this one? And I must say right here that obviously that's going to be the crossing. Candle started to be green. And here's not the perfect situation. That's not the easy one, just as I told you. What I mean is the situation with that strategy when it's just the beginning of the trend. So the crossing, that's the crossing. The crossing just happened, and we perfectly see what trend that's going to be. And our only one thing we need to actually think of, that it's going to be enough for our time period. For the 1 minute, it's supposed to be that long, but anyway, we need to think about that. And what about this one? So we entered the high volatility era. ATR, I must say, showing us that we're gonna get downward, and maybe that would be smart to get this bad for the downward trend. And the crossing meant actually that we may have the opposite movement. And the opposite for us would be downward. But I don't know. But I haven't noticed, that signs. Maybe that was just intuition, just because all candles of the MACD were tiny, and that's the bad sign. For the clear tendency, this is not it is. Sometimes when you see that high volatility, tiny candles, you cannot get any results from that, any thoughts. You may make some opposite to your first impression But that's complicated, I know. How about this one? The candles are orange that we are detecting, but MACD quite clear, showing to us we gotta get upward from a dentist. Plus ATR, I must say, also been showing us and pointed us we gotta get upward. By now it's kind of flat, but it actually could change. That's crazy. This market is just crazy. Look at that. Mostly that actually looks that crazy just because we have 10 seconds period. That's insane. And that's, that's playing are not perfectly detected with this time frame. So this situation is actually, this chart is actually the chart that you don't need to be entering. Just look at that. Previously, that tiny, just like lines, it's not even a candle, that's the line. That means that was crazy. That was crazy movement. Right here, my assumption was that we're going to be continuing, maybe ending and having a plateau of the support trend, and then we're going to get downward. And by now, what's that? By now, yep, I'm all correct. But ATR, and that strategy, ATR and MACD, are like, why do we need stick? Why do we, I forgot that. So, that's not, they are not combined. Let's make this one better than the previous one. We are definitely at the bottom without any indicators. I could tell we are at the bottom. The candles, the lines of the MACD perfectly showing to us we're going to get upward instead of being right here at the bottom. And moving average also like that's the classic heel, and the previous pattern is just like that. So right here we're going to be just waiting for our result. What about the ATR? This is it. It started to get as a plateau and started to play a little bit, but it went upward. The timing is perfect. If I could enter just a little bit earlier, just for the 5 seconds, I would be ruined and completely defeated. Could I actually get rid of that type of situation as the previous one? Because 5 seconds just actually decided, I don't know, my destiny. I can't tell you, because sometimes this is not what you expect. That's the market. Nobody can tell you how that's going to be 100% working, how you can be 100% sure. But anyway, we can minimize the losses. That's what we're actually trying to manage. So I hope that's going to be the crossing, and after that crossing, that's going to be nice. So I hope it's going to be right now, because the green line just supposed to cross the orange line and get upward, but that didn't happen. It's just happening right now. Okay, now that looks good. And you may see how crazy all that movements, because 3 of my bets are on the different levels. Okay, yes. Is it a luck? Is it a working result? Who knows? Just got a little bit devastated by that type of trading, when you just need to guess and sit it, finger crossed. So we're done. And I must say, this ATR was useless. I could calmly and safely get rid of it, and I think I wouldn't lose anything. That's not my type of indicator. That's not my type of strategy, when you need, to be with the different eyes on one type of indicator on one group, then on the other, then compare. That's too long for me. I don't like it. I like when it's quick, working, and you can enter when you have, the impulse. Because sometimes the situation is perfect, but the time that you switch for that market is already a little bit too late. And to be right on time, as you know it, this is actually the main important thing, the most important thing.